Yes, so hello everyone, it's our Wednesday show on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello.
Excellent morning.
And we have our fabulous audience. Good to have you. Thank you so much. Any first timers in the building? You are here for the first time. Oh, please stand up for recognition. Let us read. You are welcome in the name. Okay, thank you. Thanks for coming. It's such a pleasure having you guys here. Hello, Nima.
I'm very fine. Good morning.
This is your bling bling. What's going on? You shine
Morning.
everywhere.
Oh, guys, working.
Yeah.
This is Mama Cow. Have you forgotten?
Yeah,
I
really.
kept it at my bottom
okay.
box. I only bring it out when
My mother is a
I'm in a
bling
good
woman.
mood.
Trust me. That's how. That's.
Mama Cow, thank you, Ma, for always being there. I kept it secure for special days.
How you doing?
But today is the 10th day of Ramadan.
Okay.
So we're done with the first phase.
Which is forgiveness.
Which is forgiveness.
Forgiveness,
Yeah.
fantastic.
So we're moving into mercy, so seek mercy. And thank God I'm reading the English version of the Quran. I'm faster when I read the Arabic because I don't bother with the meaning. I just go. But if I have to do, immediately I do Arabic, English, it take me a longer time. So this Ramadan, I'll stuck to only the English version. And the message for yesterday was charity, do not injure after doing charity. I sat on that verse of Surah Al-Baqarah.
Not injure after
So when you
charity.
give to somebody or you see someone in need and you help them and then maybe something happens in the future and then you have to remind them I was there for you, that kind of sort of thing. I was the one that, you know, if it wasn't me. So you do charity to someone then you injure the person. That's some of the closing chapters, verses of Surah, the second chapter of the Quran. And I just sat on that verse for hours like I did not read another thing.
You know, as you're talking, I'm just thinking that you really need to educate Nigerians on the Quran and various things that the Prophet Muhammad taught. Now, especially now that there's a fasting going on. So maybe you should use maybe once a week, for Fridays, give us something where you're sharing to Nigerians. Because the truth is that a lot of Nigerians don't understand Islam, and because there are a lot of Christians out there, they have this perception, and it's important that we begin because the objective of this show is to change perception. You want to understand that we are together, we're serving,
and the purpose of Ramadan is to make you a better person. Right. So even I, reading that verse, remembered immediately of someone I had done good to, and when we had a fight, I was like, I can't believe you did that to me, referring to what I had done.
Yeah. So think about let's start this Friday. If you're on Friday, hopefully, if you are, if you're not on, but if you're on. Give us something. Let's give the banter. Let's give it to you. Admonish us. Yes. Let me come to Mariam. How are you doing, Mariam?
I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. I'm doing fantastic. I feel really. Do you know? I feel like standing up
Oh,
today.
please stand now. Come on.
Yellow.
I feel so. Yeah, I feel really amazing. You know what? I'm my biggest critic. That is me.
Right.
Whatever I do, I always look for what I didn't do right, what I should have done better. And I was having a conversation with my husband yesterday, and he was just telling me how amazing I am, what I do, and how things are. He said to me, you're my recent inspiration. I'm like, oh wow.
Wow.
You know?
Oh, now we should stand up for her, please. Let us rise up. Oh wow. Even we agree. Fantastic. Well done.
Yeah,
You're an amazing person.
So
Well done.
I'm celebrating myself today, and I'll try to celebrate myself more often. Thank you.
Let's just go home now. What I'm still doing here.
How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. So yesterday, after the show, I had to go to do some grocery shopping at the mall. And I suddenly started feeling like I wanted to faint. I didn't know what was happening. It was...
Hey,
That was the first thought. I wanted that to land. I wanted that to land.
And I dragged you
Let me
and
tell you,
TV. Mind yourself.
She's been in Lekki.
Oh, even with a guy.
Oh, God. Please, can we continue? So I didn't know what was happening. I just said I should get food first.
Okay.
So I sat down and I ate. When I finished, I had strength. And I told myself, so this is how I would have fainted. And the headline would carry it. A co-host of Your View fainted out of hunger. Just make it So this morning, before leaving the house, I made sure I had breakfast.
Oh, no wonder you were
very
late.
early.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, not late, but
So that I don't,
Just to
kind
be
of
sure,
mistake.
I think you should get a pregnancy test.
I think
Just to be sure.
I have the strip in my bag.
Right, please.
You don't have to go far.
I carry no.
Strip in my bag.
Because
Run a test.
she has been with our guy back to back.
Back to back.
Back to back.
In this rainy season.
In this rainy season. Please go and do test. We on our own side, we are closed shop. 4 children.
Trust me, you can't guarantee that.
Wow, cool. So it's going to be. Hi, how are you guys doing? Can somebody just tell us how you are? Just everything going
How
on.
are you?
Me?
How are you?
Honestly, I am really grateful to God because new things are opening.
Already.
God is sending people to me, and I'm seeing opportunities, things I've never seen before, and just yes, and it's amazing. You know, I'm excited about the next few months. A lot will be happening, and you'll be hearing about it.
Yes, so.
Let's go on a break. Anybody with the mic? Is the mic with anybody? Want to say hello to us? Nobody. Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Before we go into the paper review, we're sending our condolences to the CEO of Cream Slices on the loss of her father. She's the one that sends us cake every Wednesday. Unfortunately, her father passed on, and they've not been able to get around to the cake. Thank you, but thank you always for being there for us. But we also pray that your father's soul would rest in peace. Thank you for all your support so far. Our hearts go out to the family at this time. Okay, let's move on to the papers. Let's start today with Nation. The Nation. June 12, Tinubu seeks urgent legislative action. APC leader lauds President's action on Democracy Day. I targeted 370, says UTME best that's Ikene. What is the Ficos, eh? Goodness. Ambode inaugurates the mega jetty ferries. Buhari to Saraki, others. Nation deserves better. Defense headquarters denounces calls for revolution, and U.S. suspends Dropbox visa application. We'll talk about the visa one a bit later. And also emotions as group celebrate Leah Sharibu's 16th birthday.
This is the major headline.
Okay.
So following the Minister of Information's announcement yesterday that the June 12th will be the Democracy Day for this year and the handing over day, the national leader of the APC has called on the National Assembly to do the legislative side of things. Yes, this was announced by the president last year that, subsequently will be our Democracy Day, but legislative tidying up has not been done. And, some people can start to contest that, but he commended the president for taking that stand.
So constitutionally, it's supposed to be May 29th, so they're going to make it low-key.
They should
have.
They'll
still do the main event, June 12th, which is great.
That's good.
Defense headquarters denounces...
Yes, there's a group online that put up a letter sort of asking for a revolution and ousting of President Muhammadu Buhari. But the defense headquarters is saying that we're disassociating ourselves from this group. They're called the Nigerian Continuity Progress. That's the name of this group. It's a faceless group. Nobody really knows who they are. And they've asked for investigations to find out who these people are. And they're saying we have nothing to do with it. This is just rascality and unpatriotic.
Okay. Are we taking the visa story here?
Not here.
No, not that. It's all over the papers. Somebody has inaugurated the jetties, which is great. That's the Bariga area. Let's move on to the Punch. 9th National Assembly, 469 members to receive, wait for it, 4.68 billion naira welcome package.
Yes.
I wish I was a lawmaker. Oh, Lord Almighty. And I'm on your view.
Please contest.
Nigerians celebrate Leah Sharibu's 16th birthday, demand her release. Fallen tanker explodes, burns commuters in Lagos. Ajimobi names streets after himself, Alafmi Olubadan and others. AFG orders prison fire services to employ over 9,000 Nigerians. Nigerians must now appear before visa renewal, says US. Oshibajo warns against bribing officials for licenses. Minimum wage, FG inaugurates panel to negotiate salary adjustments. Let's start with the major headline, then we'll talk about the fallen tanker and then the US. Yes, the major headline. Who has that story?
Yes, so 469 lawmakers are about to begin their own life of enjoyment. Because once they resume, they are going to be getting a welcome package, and it comes to about
approximately 10 million.
4.68 billion.
Yeah.
That's what they're getting. Yes, billion. But each one of them gets approximately 10 million.
And
it's for furniture and it's for accommodation. Well, accommodation, they do it once in 4 years, but furniture, they do it, once a year. No, accommodation once a year, furniture once in 4 years.
Exactly.
So they're saying that,
So as a lawmaker, they expect that you go and get a house and you furnish it, and that should cost you 10 million naira.
Well, this is what happens when the legislative quarters at Akpo in Abuja was converted fraudulently by the former lawmakers into personal use. So once they were leaving, they turned it into a retirement package and said they couldn't leave those quarters. It was built so that lawmakers, once they resume, would have residence. This is the corruption we're talking about.
Yeah, but you know, apart from that, they also get a lot of other allowances. But the thing is that, you know, every 4 years we sit down here and we talk about it and we shout about it and they get their monies and we move on. But the thing is, a thought came to me. What if every representative of a state is told by the state will pay you and say to you, okay, we want you to represent us, but this is how much you can pay, just like the way we're doing for minimum wage. You know, we don't know if our state can afford it, but this is what Kano State can pay, this is what Lagos State can pay. And then when you go there and if you do well, you know, you get better pay.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah, the state cannot even afford it.
So they go according to their own...
Okay, according to what your state can afford.
A follow-up story in another paper where the president was talking about the elites, that they are not helping the welfare. A lot of people are poor. The educational system, the elites are not coming out to, you know, assist. And now we have 400 and something billion that is going for
furniture and
welcome package. And you are blaming the elites. Which elites are you blaming in the first place? It doesn't make sense, really.
This is an interest story.
Welcome package for what? Okay, what are you doing
exactly? So the human interest story. Okay, I found that area where the bombing happened, that people died in the canal, popular area in the Solo, is the same area where this happened. So NNPC has a depot at that area, and one of their tankers had fallen in a ditch. They had cordoned off that area. It happened on Monday, they cordoned it off. But yesterday morning, there were reports that a car drove unknowingly around 6:30 a.m. into one of the ditches where they had gathered fuel. And there was a spark the moment his silencer, what is it called, touched the ground. People were very injured. I saw videos of somebody running with his clothes burnt out of this. This is totally avoidable if we have good roads. If we have good roads. This happened at Barracks bus stop along my area last year.
Good roads and even real.
We can't continue to have, we don't have ditches anymore. We have trenches that deep. Once you go in.
But Nima, that place was condoned off and there was a barricade. So obviously the bus conductor or the
according
bus
to
driver...
the eyewitness reports, he didn't say that he saw the barricade. He said unknowingly
why
he drove
shouldn't
into
he? It was
it.
barricaded
So maybe at the
it was
time,
condoned off.
At the time of the morning when he drove, it was still dark in that area and he didn't see.
6:30
So we need caution lights.
You have to know that it's
People should be able
there.
to see it, even in the dark.
Okay, let's move on to the U.S. Embassy saying
Yes, so they've announced indefinite suspension of the drop box. You know, sometimes when you want to renew your visa, you just, because you've done the main interview, you've gotten the first one, so you do the drop box where you don't need to appear for interview. Now they are saying that because of fraudulent reasons, everybody must now come, whether you're renewing or you're a first-timer, to have that interview. But our officials, government officials and diplomats are excluded from it. Then if you've already dropped your passport for the in the drop box, you are excluded for now. But it starts, that was yesterday, Tuesday.
All right, moving on to Daily Sun.
Nigerians are up in arms.
You'll be all right.
Daily Sun, 30,000 naira. Workers to wait. Committee working out modalities gets 4 weeks to submit report. Buhari knocks the Nigerian elites. Tinubu commends Buhari on plan for June 12th. Obiano, Bianca out as ABGA dissolves BOT. So I think pretty much it's self-explanatory.
So Minister for Labour, Chris Ngige, again, yesterday morning on a breakfast show, was saying that the minimum wage, the 30,000 minimum wage amendment that the President has signed into law will not take effect immediately. It will take another 4 weeks because the committee has to put in the modalities for payment. They have to put in, check, salary increments for those who are already getting above. It is supposed to be the minimum wage and the lowest salary any civil servant in Nigeria would get. I'm just saying, 4 weeks is a month.
I think they are stalling.
No, they're not stalling. They need
I believe they're stalling.
I don't think they're stalling. They've put together a committee and the committee has 4 weeks. So after 4 weeks...
Moraya, the reason is because this is
an implementation committee. How do we implement it?
This debate took forever to happen. Just before the elections, it was finally resolved. It dragged.
It's been
So
dragging.
the modality should have been taken care of along with all the deliberations.
No, the reason
that were
it
happening.
dragged was because we're trying to come to a consensus. So now we've come to a consensus. Let's follow due process. Let's
Simple.
give them a
Let's
benefit
move
of
on
the
to
doubt.
Vanguard.
Process that was a law is signed, takes effect.
Exactly, but it doesn't
takes
happen.
effect
Somebody
immediately.
needs to ensure that all the citizens that are incapable of paying find ways to pay. So that's part
I
of
want
what.
to see how long it will take the lawmakers to get
If
their
you said
welcome
4
package.
weeks.
If it goes
the
beyond
welcome
4
package, I want to see how long. Let's compare. Yeah, we're in Nigeria now.
Moving
Let's
on to Vanguard. Bakare Khan, Afenifere Ohaneze, Onayekan, others raise concern about the state of the nation. Leah Sheribu again at 16. Everybody has been going on about the fact that she's 16 and she's not been released. I will tell you about yesterday was her 16th birthday.
Yeah.
Poverty, FG engages global body to review Nigeria's ranking. Kano Kingmakers ask court to stop Ganduje from deposing Sanusi. FG can seize assets whether or not there's corruption allegations, says Oshimbajo. And we spent 2 trillion to control excess cash in banks, says CBN. Let's talk about Ganduje Kano. Who has that
Okay,
story?
we want to do that. Okay,
we'll talk to
so
Liam.
yeah, so the Kano Kingmakers have taken the State House of Assembly and Attorney General to court and 5 others, and they're saying that they would like the court to stop the governor from dividing the emirate into 5, and also that whatever needs to be done, especially when it comes to maybe taking out the emir or changing his jurisdiction or whatever, they have to be, you know, they have to be talked to first before this is done. And I think this is a step in the right direction, but I was wondering why it's a bit late.
Yeah, it's
yes.
late. Well,
he just came back from, you know, from Saudi Arabia, and I'm wondering, was it him that sat with them and now compelled them to do this? They should have done this before he got back, really. It just seems
the speed with which this law was passed. I just pray that the people of Kano know the value of the person.
Yeah.
I personally have heard some of the allegations against the emir, but I think they're feeble, considering how this person saved us from all those banks folding up with our monies in the past. The kind of policies he put
there
together.
are allegations that, remember, he gave us wrong figures on how much was missing.
He didn't. We're still looking for 20 million.
The figures changed over a period.
He changed, but we still look for monies.
People still
now we're trailing monies all the way to the
500
UK.
billion
We're looking for monies.
Okay, let us move on to the last paper. There was a story I want to take. Okay, we've talked about Bianca Apgar, right?
No,
they dissolved the BOT. Leah, let's talk about Leah now. Knoxville federal government has family friends mark Leah Sheribu's birthday. How Nigeria can earn $145 billion through legal marijuana.
I'm on for that one.
And Nigeria's poverty level is comforting, says Buhari. Let's talk about Leah Sharibu for a second. Yeah, go ahead.
So Leah Sharibu's birthday was yesterday, and a lot of groups came out. I love the fact that women from her community in Dapchi also came out with placards calling on the president to do the needful. I personally believe that they should keep the noise louder, because I can only imagine what a single girl remaining in that captivity will be going through right now. If they were in groups like the Chibok girls, maybe it would have been easier for us to deal with, for her to deal with the torture that she might be going through. But only her is a tough one on her already, and this is a year she spent 2016 in captivity. I think the federal government should do the
I think everybody totally agrees.
So the governor of Ondo.
Yes, I have the story. Yeah, he's in Asia at the moment with the chairman of NDLEA, and they are attending a program on the development of medicinal cannabis. So he's saying that if we don't tap into the global legal market of marijuana, we're going to be losing about 145 billion by 2020.
Dollars.
Yeah, dollars by 2020. So this is a market that all over the world they are using it for medicinal purposes. I know that it cures, it helps with cancer and all of that. And it's even healthy. It's a herb. You know, I'm not supporting it, but there's a way they can, if we accept
ordinary
ordinary tramadol, codeine. Look at what we're struggling
snipers.
with.
People are picking it up everywhere.
My sister,
but marijuana is marijuana. But it's here.
But the point is
people
that
are using it. It's just that it's not legal. So if you legalize it,
No. What we're saying is that we have a system already that is flawed. We have a system that is flawed. Okay. We have a NDLEA, whatever, SON, you know, we have a system that just lets a lot of bad things happen. So we need first to take care of that before we start legalizing marijuana. We know all the ills that this causes.
So
money. Please, money
we
is
can
not
approve,
everything.
but we can't regulate. We fail at regulating.
okay, sounds like a hot topic, right?
Yes, it does.
All right, so we'll make it a hot topic one of these days. Should we legalize marijuana?
Yeah.
All right.
Not yet.
and make money.
Let's go on a break.
Fix
When we
our country
come back, a group that concerns every Lagosian. A matter that concerns everybody living in the city. Lastma. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Right. So, thanks for staying with us. Report has it that no fewer than 40 motorists have forfeited their vehicles to the Lagos state government after driving against traffic. Report also has it that these motorists are being billed outrageously and that there are also no clear road signs, especially on the streets of Lagos. We have with us here the Director of Legal, Lastma, Mr. Oseni Kennedy. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You can call us on 07080668014. You can also tweet towards our TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Okay, so we understand the objective of Lastma, obviously, to help with road maintenance, traffic, and all that. Yeah. But when they start to seize cars and vehicles, we start to think, are they going out of the scope of their work? Because we see when the Lastma officer stops you, especially when you're driving in a way there's no signs, nothing to tell you this is a one-way or this is no U-turn allowed here. And they are waiting for you to actually make that offense and then impound your car. Why is this done? Shouldn't there be some kind of a way to at least first offender before you now get your car impounded?
You appreciate with me that in Lagos State, there are road signs and there are direction for movement of vehicles on our roads. The Traffic Management and Survey Department is solely responsible for erecting road signs in Lagos State. And as we have it today, not only road signs are in place, but you also find that there are directions always on the road in Lagos State. So you'll find out that one of the cardinal points or objective or principal duties of Lastma is not only to control traffic, but to also manage the inflow of traffic. So the law is there, and the law is for the public. And once there is a law, then you are bound to.
Let's talk about signs.
I'll come to you, because I was going to talk about, in the case where the signs are not there, does the Lastma officer still have the right to stop us or accuse us for breaking the law, where we actually cannot see the signs?
You'll find out that on all the roads, there are signs in place.
No, sir.
Listen to me.
I can give you
there
one
are
good example.
circumstances in which either the road signs have been knocked off. And it is our responsibility to replace it.
Okay.
So you find out that oftentimes these signs are always in place.
Okay.
That
in
is
the
it.
case where that sign is not in place, me, I'm going to use example, give you a good example. You see stadium.
Yes.
There's a road that comes from Ojo-Elegba, I think, all the way down, straight. You're either going down. But some people who have never been to the area always make a mistake to take a one-way, to go to the stadium, and it is one way. There's no sign there to show that it's one way. And you have Lastma officials just standing there. God help you. They wait for you, you get there, they're in your car, and they're impound, and then they cause traffic. So let us be honest, this is real life.
Yes, I agree with you that sometimes you may not find the road signs there.
It's not even
Because, just hold on. But you also agree with me that before you come behind your wheels, you have undergone training.
Oh.
Training to an extent that you drive on Lagos Road, you don't expect Lastma to tell you that this road that you are passing is a one-way. Let me tell you.
I can go from Ogun State.
No, listen. If you are coming from Ogun State, you do. For example, if you are a good driver and you have undergone training, if you go to any other state, do you need the officers in that state to tell you that where you are going is a one-way? What will tell you? Let me explain this one-way to you.
Okay.
In local parlance, it's called one-way. But what the law recognizes is that you drive against oncoming vehicles. That's one. you drive in a way prohibited by law.
Okay.
So if you look at the section is this. If you are driving against oncoming vehicles, your intuition, you should tell you if you are a driver under training.
Okay.
You are a driver that has been properly trained.
I agree that
you should know you are driving against one way.
when you see the sign on a straight road that says go this way, there's a sign usually covering. It means that you can't go forward, you have to take that turn and find your way. That's usually, I want to make this particular note of the one at Yaba going to Unilag.
Yaba going to
When you're
Unilag,
going
yes,
to
I'm familiar with that place.
That particular one,
Okay.
there's a police van sitting there.
Yes.
And instead of doing prevention and ensuring that people take that turn, now I'm just saying where the sign is, and somebody that doesn't know or is not used to the area, assume, because Google will keep telling you, go straight,
Turn left.
Google, and you're not doing what you should. Shouldn't they be there to tell you, that's the turn, no way? Rather, they wait for you to come in. There's a box where you come in, they just pick you up.
Just catch you.
So this is on talking about how to prevent people from getting into that crime.
Yeah.
So when the person is insistent, then the person is aware of the law and insisted on going against it. This is because some people might miss that sign. Truthfully don't know. So what measures have you put in place to ensure
Just hold
that?
on. The presumption of the law is that you know it. And there is no, ignorance is not an excuse. Just hold on, please.
Okay.
You are giving me a practical example.
Yes.
That place you are talking about is where we have the cemetery on the right side.
Yes.
And then there is a turn to your right. If you are
Yes,
coming all
you
the
have
way
to
from,
go and then turn back.
you have to turn back to go to Unilag. You see, there is a signpost there. And the signpost is this. Where you have a circled on a blue background with a red diagonal cross across it, it shows you no entry. It shows no entry.
But
So
this signpost is usually not there. The one I work with is the one on the ground.
No, it's there.
Because you know the area.
There's a mark on the ground that stops you. But the one up is usually not there. It's not missing, you won't see it.
It's there.
And there's a police van.
I'll make you to understand Nima's question.
I will do that. I will do that.
Nima's question is very critical.
Yes.
We understand what you said so far.
No,
What we want you to address is, shouldn't
there's a
Lastma
sabotage.
prevent?
Yes.
So if you know that there's supposed to be no U-turn here, and you see somebody about to, and you tell the
Because
person
you're
no.
managing traffic.
So then you're preventing them for crime. But
Because
usually
you're
what we find that
managing
they
traffic.
wait for you to commit the crime so they can catch you. So shouldn't you train your people
different
to
approach?
help prevent?
Exactly what we are not only there to manage the traffic, but we are there to assist the public as well. So in some cases where we are supposed to assist the public, we do that. But where you find a Lastma officer wanting, it is the responsibility of the public as well to inform the management about that. But in this scenario you have painted, I agree with you. Yes, we are going to investigate that, but I agree with you that prevention is better. You should make a preventive course rather than you allow the person. But what I will tell you about it is this. The public, they have attitude. And I will tell you this. Lastma, we train, we mentor, and we give guidance to our people who are there that trains the public. When you see them on the road, they are a different thing, a ball game at all. So you find out that what I'm saying in essence is this. Okay, let me give you a good scenario. Where you find the road on the major highway is blocked, and you see Lastma at that spot diverting traffic to pass through the BRT. You will not drive more than 10 meters, you will get an exit from that BRT corridor. But you see our men, our people, they continue to drive on that BRT, taking advantage of that diversion. And then you find out that at the end of the day, after some meters, they are caught up with law enforcement agents and they are being arrested. The next thing you will say is Lastma that diverted us. You will find that that's the big scenario I'm talking about. So it's the same thing.
All right,
you know, we have a problem of traffic in the country. And sometimes the very narrow roads, we have some of your officials trying to catch erring bus drivers and vehicle drivers on a narrow road. And then it causes, you just see them stopping the cars, stopping the cars, and it causes a lot of traffic. You are wondering what is causing this traffic till you get there. You find Lastma officials. Is there no other approach that you can use so that you don't keep people on that road because you want to catch erring drivers?
Yes, the thing is this. We have adopted what is called a point system, and that will address the issue of a first offender and a second offender. Where a first offender who commits a traffic offense or an infraction of the law, he will be given a point, which is the minimum of 2 points. And the law permits Lastma to take biometric of offenders and keep in our database. So such a person whose database has been captured, biometric has been captured, if he commits a further offense another time, then it means he is no longer a first offender. He becomes a second offender.
So you catch him on the road?
We catch him on the road. Now, the scenario you have painted out, you see, these erring drivers, they are not only dangerous to the road, but also dangerous to the other users of the road.
Right. Let me take this call. Kelvin, are you still there? Kelvin?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Mariah.
Yes.
I'm first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I'm first-time caller. I'm calling from Abuja. I can hear you.
Go on.
Yeah, let me make an addition to what is going on.
Go on.
Keep talking, Kelvin.
Okay. You see, Nigerian people, they are very difficult to control. I must let you know that. I'm a law enforcement agent. I'm a police officer as well. They are very, very difficult to control. The Nigerian public, if we, the personnel, are training our men, who is training the public, it is now your duty to lecture the public on how to respect the law enforcement agents right out there.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me take just one comment from the audience before we go on a break, because I'm told you have to run off. I told you have to run off. You can't wait, because we really like to keep it for a while. But let me take one question from you. Okay, let's go on a break. So you're going to be here. Take one question from you. Okay, let's go on a break. So you're going to be here. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll still have our guests with us. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you. You can't run off.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thank you for staying with us. So unfortunately, our guest has to leave us, but I'll just take one question from our audience. Madam, go ahead, please.
Yes, there is a road from under bridge bus stop, a bridge linking that particular road to the other side.
Which side?
It has...
Which area?
At Egbeda, under bridge bus stop.
Okay, yeah.
There is one linking bridge. Yeah. By the time you climb, it has an entry and an exit on a particular road.
Okay.
That is before 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
Okay.
But it is not everybody that is educated. That by 2, you cannot exit on that road. So how will that be addressed if you are caught? Because we have Lastma officials hiding in places.
I wonder the repetition of hiding and not visible.
Yes.
No. The Lastma officers are visible everywhere. And even by virtue of their uniform alone, which speak volumes about them. Yeah, there are some places where we have, there are choke points. They can be very visible there. And in some other areas where are inroads within the street, Lastma may not be very visible there. Because on major highways and major roads of Lagos, you will find them everywhere.
Egbeda.
I'm coming to that point. In that Egbeda, that bridge,
In what Ikeja?
it is specifically made in that manner to be able to control the volume of traffic in that area. So you find that when it is time bound, and you are supposed to go in within a period of up to 2 p.m., to exit that place, you can no longer go in that place. People within that vicinity, the only person that can be caught up with are people who are strangers.
Are there signs?
There are signs at the beginning of the bridge. You will find a sign there, and you find Lastma there that will control people trying to enter that road. So you will find out that.
Is there a sign? I'm very familiar with that road.
I'm familiar with the road as well.
I'm very familiar with that road, and it's not.
She was caught. Okay, she was caught. So she didn't have no sign.
She's not a victim, but she is a violator of that rule.
No, she doesn't. She's a victim because she did not know there was no sign according to her. And you know that road also.
I will still drive to there today.
I know the place you're talking about.
So unfortunately, I have to let you go. We cannot thrash Lastma issues. And I really want you to come on a day. You give us a full 1 hour. Okay, let me let you throw in your own.
Please, sir. Starting from Sele on the Osho Papa Expressway.
Yes.
Is it that there are no presence of Lastma? Because this question is because the necessity for one way has become the norm there now. Because of traffic, regular lockdown, maybe your people have decided to waive one way, so you allow down for buses. So face oncoming traffic all the way to Apapa, causing serious accidents, killing people on that road, and it's totally unmanageable. I'm not talking of 4 years. This is more than 5 years, 6 years now that has been like that. Is it that necessity has now waived the law?
I will tell you that there is nothing that no circumstance can bring one way to be a necessity. It can never happen.
Why is it not an offense?
It cannot be a necessity because you are only driving to a point that we are lawless in this country or in the state. And we are law-abiding citizens. So Lastma will not condone and will not accept a one-way traffic. We will not accept it. The circumstance of that particular place is because the ongoing construction that is happening there. And you know the downfall drivers are recalcitrant, perpetual recalcitrant persons. They are the people that violate law most often. And the safety of Lastma is very, very important. In the bid to arrest or apprehend a downfall driver,
you lose a life.
That you lose a life, they are being maimed. On a daily basis, Lastma officers are beaten up to stupor just because they want to maintain the decorum of obeying the traffic laws.
Unfortunately, I have to pause you here. I would like you to come back.
Yes, very
for a good 1 hour. Yes. Let's sit down because Lagosians are complaining. We appreciate the work of Lastma, but at the same time, we need there to be proper sanity, especially in certain areas that are well populated, and we need to know what the rules are. We're hearing about one way. Once you take one way, now they will forfeit your car, or you pay 150,000. So many figures going up and down. So we'll bring you back, sir. I have to go on a break.
Before I go, let me just drop an hint. In Lagos State, we cannot and we will not condone one-way traffic.
Okay.
That is very sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going on a break. When we come back, we'll discuss facility maintenance. Do we have a maintenance culture in our country? We'll discuss that. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So the World International Facility Management Day is today. And in commemorating that, we will be celebrating the importance of people behind the scenes who make sure that every facility in their care runs smoothly. We'll also be discussing the lack of maintenance culture amongst Nigerians. Joining us on the show to shed more light on this is the General Manager of Lagos State Infrastructure Asset Management Agency, that's Lastma. Mr. Oladeji Williams. Welcome to the show, sir.
You're welcome.
You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. All right, let's talk about maintenance culture, especially for government infrastructure. Government putting so much money and investments to put up structures across the country, and people take advantage. Oh, Lagos is our own. You know, you go to Alausa. In fairness, in the last couple of administrations, Alausa has changed compared to what I used to know back in the day. But still, it's not where we'd like it to be because we call ourselves a mega city. So how do we get people to take value or ownership in these structures that the government has put in place for us? And how do you get them to maintain it properly? And what are you doing? What's your own facility doing? Your own what are your office doing to ensure this happens?
Well, thank you very much. I'll start off by giving you a little background on the agency. The agency started in 2012, December, and that was when it was the Office of Facility Management and Maintenance, OFMM. In 2014, the House of Assembly passed and enacted the law, making it the Lagos State Infrastructure Asset Management Agency. I began as the general manager in May 2017, and we've been advocating and doing a lot of re-engineering and rebranding in the background to be able to come forward and share with you today some of our initiatives.
Fantastic.
Okay,
So I was shocked that the government had a facilities department,
yes.
you know, because most of the infrastructures are not taken care of. Let's take, for instance, the airport. You know, you travel and you go to other airports and everything is working, the toilets are good, everywhere is good. But then immediately you land, even the kids had to, no, Mommy, you can't use here. And everything is like in a mess. And so when you mentioned you were from the government, I was shocked. So what exactly have you been doing and what infrastructures have you, tidied up?
In addition to that, we know some facilities are federal government. Which ones are within your own scope?
Okay. First, let us address the issue of the airport. The airport is in the custody of the federal government, not the state government. So we are not involved in the management or the maintenance of that facility. However, Lagos State is blessed with over 3,000 buildings. And of those 3,000 buildings, we are involved in the maintenance and management of those buildings. Granted that we do not have enough resources to be able to manage all at optimum, but that is why I'm here today to share Lagos State's Maintenance Culture Initiative and the various strategic implementation plans.
Tell us about it. Which one of them?
Well, the Lagos State Maintenance Culture Initiative comes in multiple components. So I'll share with you each component, and I'll try and be as quick as I can. The first component is the Executive Oversight Committee. The Executive Oversight Committee is where you get all the stakeholders within the government of the built industry, and everyone sits together and agrees from the conceptualization, the design, the implementation, and the eventual building of these buildings, what should be done in terms of maintaining it and expanding the life cycle of that building. So that is the verse. It is a policy that has been signed by His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, and that is a committee, Lagos State's Maintenance Culture Initiative, and the various strategic implementation plans.
Tell us about it. Which one of them?
Well, the Lagos State Maintenance Culture Initiative comes in multiple components. So I'll share with you each component, and I'll try and be as quick as I can. The first component is the Executive Oversight Committee. The Executive Oversight Committee is where you get all the stakeholders within the government of the built industry, and everyone sits together and agrees from the conceptualization, the design, the implementation, and the eventual building of these buildings, what should be done in terms of maintaining it and expanding the life cycle of that building. So that is the verse. It is a policy that has been signed by His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, and that is a committee that will be inaugurated soonest. The other component is we will now have an integrated call center for infrastructure maintenance.
Nice.
Now, this will be a number that you can call 24 hours a day, and representatives will be able to answer and be able to refer you or refer to the appropriate government agency.
Let me throw in, let me jump in here first question.
We understand, but it sounds very
lofty.
Yeah, theoretical. I would like for you to say, okay, these are, just give us two buildings, and this is what we do
Thank you. Lagos State is also blessed with the Forensic and DNA Center, which is an ISO certified building. That's a building that's been managed by the state government. We're managing numerous courthouses. We're managing some general hospitals as well. Some, yes, we are, and MCCs. So the state government.
So the MCCs, the Mother and Child Care Center.
Yes, yes.
The design. I wrote down the question that when the design and construction of a particular building has gone wrong, I will make particular example of the Mother and Child Care Center in Festac. The way it's structured is such that the roof is short. When the hospitals, and several times in rainy season, our wards were flooded. There's a way it's structured that from the stairs, when you're going up, ventilation was created, but through those places, when it's raining, we get flooded a lot of times. I wondered how the management couldn't reach someone. I wondered whether there was a facility manager. So when you sat here, I said just one question.
I will
because
address
I lived there 6 months and I saw what happened. We had to carry our bags all the time when it rained. When a building's design, beautiful and laudable as it was, goes wrong because of one, maybe it's angled one way or the other, or the rain, what does the facility management do? And in this particular case, I'd like to see emphasis, if you've ever visited the one at Amu Odofin,
yes,
First Gate, and what were your suggestions there?
Thank you very much for that question. It's actually very poignant, and it's germane. I'm here to address that. First of all, the whole point of having the Executive Oversight Committee is so we can have professionals within that specific industry. It is not about building a building and then naming it a hospital. You need to have hospital architects involved in the design and conceptualization phase of these buildings. So it is built for a specific purpose. The same way, even though the forensic lab was a previous building, it was redesigned specifically for that purpose. So going forward, that Executive Oversight Committee will be addressing those kind of issues. Yes. Now, regarding the facility management, yes, there are facility managers on site, and we have been unfortunate to have a lot of construction-related defects in the past, and so the government is doing condition-based assessments in which we go in, we see what the defects are, and then we propose some sort of rehabilitative measures for those buildings.
Let's talk about maintenance culture.
Yes.
The reason I say that, because in this company, when we had a new CEO came in, and he took the issue of facility management very seriously. He started spending money on landscaping, breaking down walls, and I wonder, you're spending money, what's wrong with this man? I mean, let's focus on the business of the day, which is our media. But to him, it was important. People didn't understand why he was investing so much money on these things. Because it's not our culture. Why would I spend X amount of millions to make the place look nice? Just because when people come in, they feel good. But my issue is, how do we, when you put all this investment, so people that do not have the maintenance culture, don't see the importance of landscaping, building, putting flowers here and there, making this place look beautiful, painting the walls 10 times in a year. How do you maintain that? What do you do to ensure the standard is up?
Well, that is what this advocacy is about. You'll be hearing a lot more about this agency and our initiatives going forward to try and educate and inform people about the built industry and the working environment. The reality is, if we have a sound facility management methodology in place, you would not have to think about it. For example, we're here, your lights are working, you are not thinking about that. The air conditioning or your central cooling system is operational. There's an energy supply, whether it's alternative power or grid energy. These things have been provided to allow you to focus on your core responsibility, which is to interview me and educate and inform the public.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about General Hospital. I've been to 2 general hospitals recently, in Bagada and the Lagos Island, and I'm, very sad to say that the facilities there are completely run down. And I'm wondering if there's a relationship with the hospital management and Lastma, to do something about their air conditioning, their toilets, the stairs breaking down, and then also provision for people who are disabled, who are unable to use steps. They need ramps and things like that.
Again, this comes back to the Executive Oversight Committee. If, when it comes to design and re-engineering some of the design flaws to be able to make it accessible for the disabled members of our community, that is what the executive function
But
I would like to answer
the
issue of the maintenance. I think that's the crux of what the question is. The reality is, granted, government has plowed resources towards the management of maintenance of various facilities. We have appointed facility managers to some of the locations. Some of the locations are slated for facility management and are going through the procurement process in order to appoint a facility manager to be present on site. So I know the locations you're talking about because I've visited them personally. Even when I was in the Ministry of Energy, I used to be the SA to the Governor on Energy. I was involved in ensuring that there was always energy supply throughout.
Okay, I'll come to you, Jalil, because it's important that, I know you're not a regular on this show.
I'm not.
Yeah,
no.
So our viewers like things to be broken down. We understand. So we could tell, trust me. Our viewers like things to be broken down like we're 2-year-olds.
Okay.
You got to tell us what you're doing. Yes, you told us somebody will be appointed facility manager. Who is funding you? What exactly should they expect in that general? Who is, are they coming to paint the walls? Are they coming to bring in the stairs? What exactly are you doing?
Okay, first of all, by law,
right,
the agency has access to a certain percentage of the capital expenditure of every ministry, department,
Fantastic.
and agency.
Good.
Those resources are plowed into the maintenance of the various buildings within the custodies of
Good.
the MDAs.
Okay.
Facility management is a discipline that can involve janitorial services,
Okay.
which is
Cleaning.
toilet cleaning
Right.
and all that. It can involve painting.
Right.
It can involve electricals, changing of bulbs, replacement of electricals.
So when it's not done, who do we
roofing.
go to?
Now, if it is not done, that is why we are going to have a hotline.
Okay.
So this call center will be 24 hours,
Fantastic.
an integrated maintenance call center that not just involves Lastma, it also involves the electricity board. If you have any issues with electrical poles that have collapsed, maybe due to weather, you can contact that number. Street lights that are not on, you can call that number.
Now you're speaking English. Now we understand. Yes, go ahead.
What is your staff strength right now? And do you think you guys are equipped enough to handle this?
That's a fantastic question. Our staff strength is just below 100, but it is not just, even though we're blessed with engineers, architects, and all that, to maintain and manage 3,000 buildings, you need, it's labor intensive,
Right.
and you need a human
You'll be
capital.
recruiting.
So what we have done is we've partnered with LastVerb, the Lagos State Vocational Education Board.
Fantastic.
And all their certified graduates
Oh,
in the
wow.
built industry
That's good.
have been engaged.
That's great.
I like that collaboration.
Yes. So LastVerb, about 1,200 students graduate a year. Approximately half of those are within the built industry. So we now set them up into the 5 divisions of Lagos State through our database system, and we will now be having them do as a stopgap to manage various locations within the state, electrical, plumbing, things like that.
My question quickly is, you said you mentioned certain areas where you work on now, but I want to know if you would be willing, if there are suggestions to renovate totally buildings, maybe you take down what the problem is. Does it include that, and where do you get budget for that from? Take down a building if you think that it's not properly designed to cater for that area, and redesign and reconstruct it all over again. Okay. Or is it just to manage?
That is a layered question, so I'll have to give you a layered answer. When you're talking about taking down a building, is it because there is a structural defect? If there is a structural defect, then there's an agency that has the statutory responsibility to handle that, which is Lastma. Okay, that's Lagos State Building Control Agency. If we come and do what they call a condition-based assessment, and we find that there is a need or we want to make a recommendation, we will make that recommendation to the executive, and they will make an informed decision on when and how to go about that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we still have a guest with us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Do we have any tweets for him?
Yes, I have Eniola Fafa says that, sorry, Onyiksi, maintenance culture in Nigeria, we lack it big time. More reason we have a lot of dilapidated projects. Yeah. Not only maintenance, we lack continuity. The president comes, starts a project, 4 years after another comes and a new project is launched.
Tell us more about your initiative, what your group is doing to ensure that your agency is doing actually.
As I've mentioned, I already spoke about the Executive Oversight Committee. I've told you about the integrated maintenance call center.
Right.
That is not just going to be calling representatives from Lastma and the Electricity Board, but also Public Works. Okay. So if there are roads that need rehabilitation, there are potholes, things like that, you can call. And then we can now start having KPIs in place that can monitor and see our efficiency of how government reacts to those issues for resolution. Okay. Along with that, you can also call in and you can be contacted to representatives of Last Park, Lagos State Parks and Gardens, for areas in which vegetation is overgrown and so on.
So call. We'll send the number. We'll send the numbers to them. Yes, Go ahead, sir.
I think it wants to.
Has it been set up? The call
It is being set up right now.
Okay.
It is being set up right now. So we will, through our social media and through other publications, be able to let you know.
Okay. So I mean, you're going to tell us about all the projects you're working on, the buildings you're working on right now, and all that. Just share that with us.
Well, like I said, we are maintaining and managing multiple buildings across Lagos State in the hundreds. So we have teams deployed strategically all over the state, working with Lasverb to go and take care of various maintenance-related and minor repair issues as well.
So, for example, if I'm working for you and I go into a facility, am I going to find, am I going to like an impromptu inspection, or I'm just going to go and see the CMD or the person in charge to find out what are the issues you're having and do a report to you? What exactly is your modus operandi?
Our agency does what they call condition-based assessments, where we send our engineers disciplined, skilled in the various disciplines of facility management, whether it's electrical, mechanical, civil, and all that. And they go and have a look at the building. They do their estimates of what it would cost and the resources required to go into a facility management contract for those buildings. Once that is done, then the state government goes into a procurement process in order to appoint a facility manager.
Well,
absolutely. We work with them. With every end user, we call them end users. Right. So the people that use the buildings, we sit down with them and understand their wants and needs in terms of maintenance. So that can be put into the scope.
Okay, so, well, everything sounds really good, and I hope it takes off and it takes off
it's already happening.
Good. But the thing is, we also know that implementation and execution is another thing, and you were talking about the vocational agency that you're working with. Yes. What salary scale are they going to be on? Because that's another thing that will keep young people there.
Absolutely.
And then what training? Because just to have people there is not enough. You have to train them. So
that's a fantastic question, and let me answer that in a simplified form. These young people have graduated from a vocational training school with various disciplines. We are working with the Employment Trust Fund to ensure that they get soft loans for power tools. The way they can pay back is because they will have a cash flow with the Lagos State government, working with us on the various facilities. They are not going to be necessarily salary staff.
Gotcha.
They are wage earners based on that, so they can participate with government programs and in the private sector.
Fantastic. That's a good one. All right. Unfortunately, we have to round up on that, but we wish you the best, and we'll also definitely call you back as we see and observe what you do. We'll call you back to give us an update on what's happening in your agency. Let's go on a break. When we come back, our guest is a lady mechanic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So, thanks for staying with us. So, she's a trained mechanic and the CEO of Lady Mech Stores. She studied science, lab tech, and biology at the University of Lagos and Ilorin, respectively. She's a mother of two who started her career as a banker and later resigned to follow her passion for cars. She was also a participant in the German-Nigeria Business Forum 2018. Welcome with us, Bumi Sholabi. Again, you can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so you can read your tweets. See, we respect women like you because you make us proud.
Yes.
Getting into this world of mechanics, understanding cars and all that. I don't even want to go into how you started, but for those who have no idea, let us get a sneak peek on how you started, and what was your first car you fixed, and what made you get into this fixing cars.
Okay. Getting into cars is something that has been with me right from, small. I've always loved cars. People around me know that, I could tell even while growing up from a mirror, I could tell you the name of a car. That's how good I was with car. But I wasn't really into like, okay, I'll be a mechanical stuff. I was like, oh, I love driving cars. So, but after I graduated, I was working in a bank. I've always had this restlessness in me that, oh, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Right. So I had to take that big step to say, okay, let me just follow this passion. Let me try what I do. Then, since then, it has stuck. It has been so beautiful.
Do you have customers? Do they believe that when they bring a car to you, do they feel that you can actually fix your car?
No. As a matter of fact, where I trained, I had customers tell my boss, please don't let her touch my car. I don't want to. And they are mostly women, I must tell you. They were like, oh, please don't let her touch my car. The men were kind of fascinated. Oh, what can she do? Let's see what you can do. But the women were just like, oh, please don't let her touch my car. I don't know. So it was.
I was going to say, when you were about to go in, you left banking.
Yeah.
You know, that's for most Nigerians, a banker is a maid person, and then you go to mechanics. So, like, were you with your parents? Were you in a relationship? How did people work? Okay, married.
Yes, I was
So people, your loved ones, how did they take that?
They kind of laughed it off because the people around me sees me as somebody that is so weak, fragile. And especially my husband, when I told him that I'm going into the, he was like, just go. It's one of those things. Okay, I know you will say
yeah, that's a really bold move because we have a lot of people who do not live their dreams because of what people would say. But then you were able to look past that and you focused on what you wanted. I want to, ask, what are some of the challenges that you faced when you just started out and the challenges you're facing now?
Okay, the number one challenge then was it was a mental challenge then, because I had to just, rearrange my mental ability that this thing I can do it. Right. It's something that I could do. Right. And it took me a lot of time for me to come in terms with that, even though there's something that I love, it's something. So I had to arrange program my mental stability for this job. So it was a struggle for me. But right now, the kind of challenge, because I have my workshop now, I have 3 workshops that I manage, that I have people working with me, we work together. And mostly I think is getting the right equipment to do the job now. Properly, that is just...
I wanted to talk about school. So you said you had to go to a training school where you trained. What was it like working with boys? Were you the only girl there?
It's not even a training school. Let me tell you a story. When I wanted to go into this, then I went to a popular, mechanic training school. No, not roadside. And they were calling this obnoxious amount of money. And I was like, oh, if I should drop down this money to train, where will I get the capital to start? Because I know I'm not going to get money in the next 1 year or 2. So I had to program it. Then I went back to where I was actually repairing my car, a local mechanic workshop. Because I know these people, they might lack the theory, the grammar, but they really understand what the assembly. So I forgot the madam or anything. Then I told them, I want to learn this. I said, every time I come with the money, once I drop my kids at school, I drop myself.
So let's help the scene. I want you to help a lot of people out there, especially women like me that are clueless. My own is just start the car and move. When I'm hearing, I call my husband, Brown, please, something is sounding. I don't even want to know. When it comes, I just say, bye-bye, I gotta go. He handles it. Help someone like me.
Okay.
How do I maintain my vehicle? How do I ensure that I don't have to keep fixing my cars? We have that issue. So could you just give us the basics?
Okay. The basic routine car maintenance, especially women, that a damsel in distress that you have to check out for your cars is number one, you check your battery terminals.
Your battery terminals,
yes. Before you go out.
Positive and negative.
The positive and negative, yes. The battery terminals, you see negative. Make sure that there's no corrosion.
There's no corrosion,
yes,
okay. It's not rusted.
It's not rust. It's not rusted. There is a whitish something that is always yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Don't worry,
Wait. I don't know. Please, come on. I want her to explain. So you check the negative and positive, and there's a white stain around it.
Always a whitish something like a fog that is always at the terminal.
Okay.
If you have it a lot on your battery terminals, it could, trip up where you're going.
Right.
And you call a mechanic, they tell you, oh, your distance is bad, your distance is bad. They just clean it and put it back and your car works.
It's fine. Oh, fantastic.
Yes,
so you can clean it yourself?
Yes. You can just use water.
Right.
You use water. If you have a brush, if there's something you call your wire brush, let me break it down. You can use a toothbrush that you don't use again.
Right.
Just keep it, put it in with baking soda.
Okay.
Just mix
to clean it. So it should be dry all the time.
Dry, yeah.
How often should you check this? Every day or once a month?
No, not every day. Like you check it like monthly.
Okay, monthly.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
I've learned.
We'll come to you. Any car challenges you have, please. Yes, Nima, go ahead.
So
go
I
ahead.
wanted you to talk. I was particular emphasis on your school in case anybody was to toe this line.
Yes.
What was it like in the training school working with other students, most likely boys? Were you the only
I was the only
female?
girl. Yeah.
So what was it like? Was there any form of bullying? But because you mentioned that you're a madam.
Yeah.
Maybe anybody ever talked down and said you couldn't do this?
Yeah, like I told you, I prepare myself mentally. So I was ready for whatever they were bringing. So I had this absorber all around. So whatever you're bringing, I'm bringing it, I'm giving you back to you. So it's like, at the time they were saying, you are just like them, that is just, so I was like, I became a tomboy. Like, they couldn't just like, oh, you can't do this. No, I was there with them all through. So I had to prepare myself for that because I knew I was going to a male-dominated terrain. Right. So I know that there's going to be so hard.
Okay, going back, because I really want us to get into some practical examples. It's important that people get some meat from you. Yes. When your tire goes flat, that thing is so difficult. I mean, in fact, I just run away. What can I do? What's the first thing I do?
The first thing is you pack, you leave it. Then you could do it yourself. There are so many automatic and manual tire inflating, simple machines that are not expensive. Right. You just fix it at that tube, then you inflate it. There are some that you just on it. You don't even need to. It goes up itself. So we should get that.
There's a need to measure. There's a particular gauge that it must stop.
That's your PSI. Some
inflating tires is different from what she's saying.
No, that's what I mean.
It's the same. It's the same thing. So the first thing is that you don't inflate a tire when it's hot. Make sure it's good out, but most vulcanizer. When you have driven for a very long time and you have a flat tire, you are just looking for a way to just inflate it. No, it's wrong because you're not going to get the accurate reading.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that is number one.
So what do you do?
You make sure that it's cold.
How long do you wait? If you're stranded somewhere and you need to go, how long do you wait?
You just have to wait because it's dangerous to inflate a tire.
You said something. You said something about the.
She's teaching us now. Wait, let us finish this lesson. So, you parked your car.
Yes.
It is hot.
Yes.
Let it cool for 10 minutes.
Yes.
After it's cool, what's the next step?
The next step, if you don't have the manual automatic tire inflator in your car, you get a vulcanizer.
Yes. You can actually get a manual inflator. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
We have manual, we have manual and both automatic. For you that you don't even want to stress yourself, just get the automatic.
You don't want to stress yourself.
You put it.
Yes, it goes back itself. Fantastic. I didn't know that. Yes, hold on. I can't hear anybody, please. Mariam, go ahead.
Okay. So you said something. You said damsel in distress.
Yes.
So good. That one just caught my attention. If I was to go now to like a shop, what are the basic things you say to me? Okay, buy this and keep in your car for emergency purposes.
Good. The number one thing you get when you're going for basic tools, maintenance tools is number one, you need to get, like the one I told you is very, the tire inflator. Then you need the 10 mm, I don't know.
Spanners.
Spanners, yes. You need spanners. You need you also need the battery.
Oh, those cords.
Cords, yes, you need a battery cord.
The job starter.
The job starter, sorry, you need a job starter. That is also basic. Then mostly because for women, they can't actually do a lot of things.
Right.
So what you do is, the number one thing I say is be knowledgeable about what happened to your car.
Okay. That's a very good one. Yes.
When you are knowledgeable about what happens to your car, a mechanic will not you will not come and tell you if it's just a battery terminal that is pull off and tell you, oh, madam, your fuel pump stop, your alternator is not working, you're there, you start
I had an experience where my car overheated.
Okay.
And then somebody came to help me and just opened that water, yes, and it splashed all over.
Yes.
And then they were questioning why did he have to. So in that case, when your car is overheating, what do you do?
Stop. You made it, that is an absolute person that is, I think, is ignorance of the, when a car overheats, you don't even touch it for the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You leave it, you let everything, cool down before you open. It might be like maybe shortage of water from the radiator. It might be something from the engine, maybe crankshaft or something like that.
We're going to bring you back, obviously, because we can't do this. What's the difference between radiator, carburetor? There's one other one. Like I'm clueless. There's one. Evacuator.
Oh, don't kill me.
It's just like, what are those things?
Evaporator, those are AC air conditioner.
So what is carburetor?
A small thing like that.
What's a carburetor? I always hear the mechanics say that.
What
does that mean?
After the show, she'll take it to the car and show you.
They say, and I don't know.
Sorry?
There's one that they say, mechanics in the north especially, in just that says Langreto.
It's radiator.
Okay.
It's radiator. It's the one that holds the one that holds your water.
The water.
I don't know.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
The one that
holds the water.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where you
Why do you need
transmit it?
Why do you need water in the first place? I thought it was all you need in the car.
No, you need water. You need the oil. It's just like, let me give you. I'm going to be talking from a biology standpoint. A car is just like a man.
Right.
That needs both water, or the oil serves as blood to circulate and the water cools, these things works on heat. So you need that water to cool down the oil engine.
We have to bring you back because you need to educate us. I mean, women,
very important question.
But yeah, go ahead.
I wanted you to mention the gauge for the vulcanizing of a car so that women know when they're going beyond. Some people will just inflate for you and say,
no, we know the number.
It differs, but you can usually get it at the door jamb of the driver's side. And also,
sorry, you're speaking French. Sorry, rewind. What are you talking about?
The PSI. It's called PSI.
Your tires.
Okay.
The pressure should not be
more than 50.
Some
cars,
per car.
Yes. So then most tires is written there.
Okay.
The average prior size, yes. Then you can.
So I can go and check it now. I'll see it.
Yes.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Mine is 50.
You know about cars.
I know my own.
Is it your Jeep or your that car yesterday?
No, the Jeep.
Okay, we have to go. I'm sorry. This segment was a bit confusing because we had a lot.
For you, very interesting. I love it.
Well done.
Okay, you know what? I've been driving a car and I've never really had to go to the mechanic, and I don't even. My husband handles that. So we'll bring you back.
Have a husband.
We'll bring you back. You educate us on this thing better, all right?
Maybe you do a book for
That's all we can take on the show today. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.